the main reason that motivated us to solve this problem is what is called the friendly fraud problem, right? If a child has access to their elder siblings' smartphone, then essentially they can unlock the smartphone and then go on and consume materials that are inappropriate for their age.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Norman Poe. He is the Chief Science Officer for TrustStamp. And Norman, it's good to see you. How are you?
Yes, fine. Thank you, Steve.
Good to have you along. Excited to learn a little more about. I know you recently released a paper really talking about biometrics and how it works within the world and how it relates to TrustStamp. So let's take a step back and talk to everyone a little bit about biometrics and just what you saw in that paper.
Right. Okay. So in the paper entitled Biometric Bound Credentials for Edge Verification, right? It's a bit mouthful, but basically, we want to solve this interesting problem of edge assurance or edge verification online. Now, this is a very exciting, also very challenging topic, right? So recently in the news, and we heard that in the UK and elsewhere, people start to bypass a VPN. As soon as you ask people to check their edge online, people feel, their privacy is being invaded in some way, right? So they start bypassing the edge verification by installing VPN, so behaving as if they are coming from a different country. Therefore, the regulation no longer applies, right? Online Child Safety Act. So we want to solve this problem using biometric authentication, and this is a nice use of biometrics. For one reason is that a lot of time children usually they don't have ID documents, right? So what you can do is perform biometric authentication. That way, there's no way to bypass the VPN, to bypass the solution using VPN, because we are actually authenticating the user. So the main reason that motivated us to solve this problem is what is called the friendly fraud problem, right? If a child has access to their elder siblings' smartphone, then essentially they can unlock the smartphone and then go on and consume materials that are inappropriate for their age. So by using biometric authentication, we can actually solve this problem, because only the elder sibling can unlock the app and then go on and use their service, whereas their sibling cannot. So this is the problem of friendly fraud. And many solutions out there today, they cannot address this problem in a satisfactory manner. And so that is the reason that prompted us to solve this, because we have this solution that's called biometric bound credentials that can actually address this problem.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because you talk about the children using phones and things like that. And a lot of time parents will take off that security layer just to make sure that it's easier for the kids to access it. But you're right, it opens you up to possibility of fraud and things that could cost, thousands, or even, depending on a company, millions of dollars in damages.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Our solution, so what we do is we authenticate the users, unlike many other solutions out there where if you like, the solution is embedded in the device, what we call passkey. Now passkey, it's a very important step towards passwordless solution, right? But the key problem with passkey is that the credential is bound to the device. Therefore, anyone who can unlock the device can act on the user's privilege, right? And so we want to solve this problem by directly authenticating the user. So where our solution differs from the current market solution is that we actually derive the secret, a private key, from the user's face directly, and use it in place of the private key that is secured by the device. Therefore, your credential follows you. Rather than using the device itself, you can use any other device, so long as it has the right software and the right data. Then it allows the user to access their service using a different device. But always we are authenticating the user, not the device. So that's the key differential here.
Yeah. What's been the reaction so far to what you presented? I'm sure you had a lot of questions from people asking about, what Trust Stamps does and what you do and all that and the technology. I'm sure you've been inundated with people wanting to know a bit more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to a couple of people, and basically they are very much interested in this edge assurance. So basically, although edge assurance is a talking point, if you like, but there are many other users interested in potential use of this technology. So the reviews I got is also quite interesting because one of the reasons to submit this paper as a peer review is to actually get feedback from the academics, right? To know
Yeah.
whether this is novel solutions. So the feedback I got is that this is very new, and so they welcome me to present. So we're going to talk about this, present this paper tomorrow in the biometric special interest group conference in Darmstadt. Yeah, in Darmstadt. So the fact that it's peer reviewed, that means we really enjoy this process because there is a rigorous review. There's back and forth conversations, about the quality of the paper, critiques, and all that, and that allows us to improve the solutions.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Norman, thanks so much. Good to catch up with you. Good luck with the talk tomorrow, and we look forward to our next conversation. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Steve.
All right. There's Norman Poe, the Chief Science Officer for Trust Stamp.